Gautamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirai Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloker Bhakti Bhavate Naistiki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so we are reading from Shrimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 17th chapter, 26 onwards. So, can I request Mataji, can you please take turns to read the purport also? Sloka, translation, and purport. The 4th canto entitled The Creation of the Fourth Order, and chapter 17 entitled Maharaja Prithu becomes angry at the earth. So, can I request Mataji to take turns to read the
Yes.
sloka?
Hare
And
Krishna Prabhuji, pranams. Vasudha Mataji, you can read the shloka. Naimisha Mataji, the translation. And Kripamai Mataji, the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Puman yosid utak klibha atma sambhavano adhamaha bhuteshu niranukrosho nripanam tadvado avadaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Any cruel person, be he a man, woman or important eunuch, who is only interested in his personal maintenance and has no compassion for other living entities, may be killed by the king. Such killing can never be considered actual killing. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Mataji.
Krishna.
Pranam. Am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. The planet Earth is actually a woman in her constitutional form. As such, she needs to be protected by the king. Prithu Maharaja argues, however, that if a citizen within the state, be he man, woman, or eunuch, is not compassionate upon his fellow men, he or she may be killed by the king, and such killing is never to be considered actual killing. As far as the field of spiritual activities is concerned, when a devotee is self-satisfied and does not preach the glories of Krishna, he is not considered a first-class devotee. A devotee who tries to preach, who has compassion upon innocent person who have no knowledge of Krishna, is the superior devotee. In his prayer to the Lord, Prahlada Maharaja said that he was not personally interested in liberation from this material world. Rather, he did not wish to be liberated from this material condition until all fallen souls were delivered. Even in the material field, if a person is not interested in others' welfare, he should be considered to be condemned by the personality of Godhead or his incarnation, like Prithu Maharaja. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Next, 28. Sorry, 27.
Hare Krishna. Barnali Mataji, you can read the shloka. Suma Mataji, the translation. And Shilpa Mataji, the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you, Mataji. Tvam Shabdam Durmadam Nitva Mayagam Tilasa Share Atmajoga Balene Madharai Swami Aham Prajaha. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranams, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. You are very much puffed up with pride and have become almost insane. Presently, you have assumed the form of a cow by your mystic powers. Nonetheless, I shall cut you into small pieces like grain, and I will uphold the entire population by my personal mystic powers. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
The earth informed King Prithu that if he destroyed her, he and his subjects would all fall down into the waters of the Garbha ocean. King Prithu now replies to that point. Although the earth assumed the shape of a cow by her mystic powers in order to be saved from being killed by the king was aware of this fact and would not hesitate to cut her into pieces, just like small bits of grain. As far as the destruction of the citizens is concerned, Maharaja Prithu maintained that he could uphold everyone by his own mystic powers. He did not need the help of the earthly planet. Being the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, Prithu Maharaj possessed the power of Sankarshana, which is explained by the scientists as the power of gravitation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is holding millions of planets in space without any support. Similarly, Prithu Maharaj would not have had any difficulty supporting all his citizens and himself in space without the help of the planet Earth. The Lord is known as Yogeshwara, master of all mystic powers. Consequently, the planet Earth was informed by the king that she need not worry about his standing without her help. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Thank you. 28.
Hare Krishna, Krishnamurti Prabhu, you read the shloka, Sharmila Mataji the translation, and I'll read the purport. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी, हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी। एवं मन्युमयी मूर्तिं कृतान्तमिव बिभ्रतं प्रणता प्राञ्जलिः प्राह मही संजात वेपतुः। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. At this time, Prithu Maharaja became exactly like Yamaraja and his whole body appeared very angry. In other words, he was anger personified. After hearing him, the planet Earth began to tremble. She surrendered and with folded hands began to speak as follows. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is death personified to miscreants and the Supreme Beloved Lord to the devotee. In Bhagavad Gita 10.34, the Lord says, Mrityu sarva haraschaham. I am all devouring death. Faithless unbelievers who challenge the appearance of God will be delivered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead when He appears before them as death. Hiranyakashipu, for example, challenged the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the Lord met him in the form of Nrsimha Deva and killed him. Similarly, the planet Earth saw Maharaja Prithu as death personified, and she also saw him in the mood of anger personified. Therefore, she began to tremble. One cannot challenge the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in any circumstance. It is better to surrender unto him and take his protection at all times. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Archana Mataji, you can read the shloka. Vrishabhanu Mataji, the translation. And Naimisha Mataji, the purport.
Hare Krishna, pranams Prabhu. Dharo Mama Parasmahe Purushaya Maya Vinyashta Nana Tanave Gunatmane Namaswarupano Bhavena Nirdhuda Dhavya Kriyakaraga Vidhamormaye. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Matajis and Prabhujis. The planet Earth spoke, My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are transcendental in your position, and by your material energy, you have expanded yourself in various forms and spices of life through the interaction of the three modes of material nature. Unlike some other masters, you always remain in your transcendental position and are not affected by the material creation, which is subject to different material interactions. Consequently, you are not bewildered by material activities. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Purport. After King Prithu gave his royal command The planet Earth, in the shape of a cow, could understand that the king was a directly empowered incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, the king knew everything, past, present, and future. Thus, there was no possibility of the earth cheating him. The earth was accused of hiding the seeds of all herbs and grains, and therefore she is preparing to explain how the seeds of these herbs and grains can be again exposed. The earth knew that the king was very angry with her, and she realized that unless she pacified his anger, there was no possibility of placing a positive program before him. Therefore, in the beginning of her speech, she very humbly presents herself as a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of God's body. She submits that the various bodily forms manifest in the physical world are but different parts and parcels of the supreme gigantic body. It is said that the lower planetary systems are parts and parcels of the legs of the Lord, whereas the upper planetary systems are parts and parcels of the Lord's head. The Lord creates this material world by his external energy, but this external energy is in one sense not different from him. Yet at the same time, the Lord is not directly manifest in the external energy but is always situated in the spiritual energy. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.10, Mayadhyakshena Prakritihi. Material nature is working under the direction of the Lord. Therefore, the Lord is not unattached to the external energy, and he is addressed in this verse as Guna Atma, the source of the three moods of material nature, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 13.15. Nirgunam Guna Bhoktar. Although the Lord is not attached to the external energy, he is nonetheless the master of it. The philosophy of Lord Chaitanya, upholding that the Lord is simultaneously one with and different from his creation. Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva is very easily understandable in this connection. The planet Earth explains that although the Lord is attached to the external energy, his Nirduta is completely free from the activities of the external energy. The Lord is always situated in his internal energy. Therefore, in this verse it is stated, Swarupa Anubhavena. The Lord remains completely in his internal potency and yet has full knowledge of the external energy as well as the internal energy, just as his devotee remains always in a transcendental position, keeping himself in the service of the Lord without becoming attached to the material body. Srila Rupa Goswami says that the devotee who is always engaged in the devotional service of the Lord is always liberated, regardless of his material situation. If it is possible for a devotee to remain transcendental, it is certainly possible for the Supreme Personality of Godhead to remain in his internal potency without being attached to the external potency. There should be no difficulty in understanding this situation. Just as a devotee is never bewildered by his material body, the Lord is never bewildered by the external energy of this material world. A devotee is not hampered by the material body, although he is situated in a physical body that runs according to so many material conditions. For example, there are 5 kinds of air functioning within the body, and there are so many organs: the hands, legs, tongue, genitals, rectum, etc., all working differently. The spirit soul, the living entity, or who is in full knowledge of his position, is always engaged in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and is not concerned with the bodily functions. Although the Lord is connected with the material world, he is always situated in a spiritual energy and is always unattached to the functions of the material world. As far as the material body is concerned, there are 6 waves or symptomatic material conditions: hunger, thirst, lamentation, bewilderment, old age, and death. The liberated soul is never concerned with these 6 physical interactions. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, being the all-powerful master of all energies, has some connection with the external energy, but he is always free from the interactions of the external energy in the material world. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. What's your name? Naimisha. Thank you so much for reading. Wonderful. Okay, so before we start, I'll offer the prayers. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatadini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Vishwasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so thank you all very much once again for giving me the opportunity. Wish you all a very happy Kamni Ekadashi. Today being the Ekadashi, I am very fortunate to speak Bhagavatam for the devotees, for the and the Lord. So we are reading from Shrimad Bhagavatam 4th canto, and we are seeing the pastimes of Prithu Maharaj. So this Prithu Maharaj is coming, from the 4th canto beginning until the end of 4th canto. It is full of the descendants of. Now we are reading the descendants of which?
Dhruva Maharaj.
Dhruva Maharaj. Very good. Dhruva Maharaj. So the Dhruva Maharaj is actually the descendant of Uttanapada. So if you remember that, Swayambhu Manu had 5 sons. 5 children, 3 daughters and 2 sons. And 3 daughters' pastime was already finished. The fourth one is Uttanapad. Uttanapad is we are reading now, and then later the Prevrata Maharaj will come in the end of the 4th canto or beginning of 5th canto. Prevrata Maharaj story will come. So actually we are seeing the descendants of Dhruva, who is the descendant of Uttanapad, who is the descendant of Swayambhu Manu. So I hope you must have already, the previous speakers must have spoke nicely on the, the pastimes of Prithu Maharaj, how he appeared, how he was churned from the body of King Vena, who was so demoniac and who was killing people left, right, and center for no reason. And then he was cursed to death by the Brahmanas, and then there was no ruler. Then all the rocks and thieves have become very prominent, and then the Brahmanas, actually that King Vena's body was protected, and then they churned the body, and then from that King Vena and his consort Archie, they both appeared, and you must have seen all the glorification what they did by the professional reciters. They went at the coronation ceremony of King Prithu Maharaj, how he was glorified by the the professional bards, means they recite, they glorify, and they were able to see the future also. So they were telling what activities that Prithu Maharaja will perform in the future. That was also described. I hope most of you should remember from your previous sessions. So in this chapter, particularly what happens, Prithu Maharaj becomes angry with the earth. What was the reason? What was the reason why
He
she
was not
became?
producing herbs,
Stopped
grains,
food,
etc.
food grains and all was stopped.
Yeah. So Mother Earth was holding back all the natural resources, and because of that, what was happening? The citizens were suffered. I mean, citizen means citizen of the whole world. Prithu Maharaj is not the emperor of the kingdom of India or kingdom of some other country. He was the emperor of the whole world, and the whole world, the citizens of the whole world were suffering because of the mother cow's activity, because she decided to hold everything back. And then what happened? There was a famine and people are suffering. And then the people, they came and they complained. They put a petition, whenever we have a problem, we go to the person who can resolve it. So King Prithu was the only person who was able to resolve this problem. So they went, the citizens, they went together and they gave a petition to Prithu Maharaj. And then Prithu Maharaj become very angry because he saw that the Mother Earth took a form of a cow, and she was running, and Prithu Maharaj was chasing the cow to kill Mother Earth. And then what happened? You all must have seen what is that? The reasons that were put forward by the Mother Earth. She put forward so many reasons. Anybody remember why she cannot be killed, or why she should not be killed? Anybody remember any reasons?
Amen.
One is she is a woman,
Very
so
good.
women should be protected. Secondly, she said cows are not to be killed. Cows are also to be protected.
Very good.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Anything else?
She has done no sin, Prabhuji.
Sorry?
She has done no sin for that reason.
No sin, yeah. So she said, I am sinful woman. I am not not a sinful woman. I am, very good. Anything else? I did not commit any sin. Okay. Anything else? So she said that you are the knower of the religious principle. Okay. She said that, oh, my dear Prithu Maharaj, you are the knower of the religious principle, so you cannot kill me. Because religious principle, those who know the religious principles, they will not kill a woman, because woman under any circumstances must be protected. And then she said that you are a king. You should protect all the living entity. It is not just, nowadays in the modern world, there is laws to protect humans. Like, for example, if one person kills another person, there is a law, and they will be trialed in the court, and there will be punishment for the person. But the government doesn't care about the animal killing. For example, even the government runs the slaughterhouse, and the government encourages slaughterhouse, killing of animals. So that is not the case when it comes to when it comes to the ancient India time or in the ancient world, the rulers, they treat all the people equally. So, for example, if you know, what was that? The story of the pastimes of Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj, when he was going, if you remember the first canto, he saw a cow and a bull was harmed. Yeah, and then Sudra was harming the bull particularly, and then he went and he immediately took his sword to kill the Sudra, who is actually Kali personified. He did not saw, oh, this is just a cow, no problem. It's not my problem. I don't have to worry about that. No. Citizens means anybody who is living in the kingdom, irrespective of their body, whether it be an animal or a human, anything is there under the protection of the king. We can see a lot of pastime, or we can hear a lot of pastimes from the Ramayana also, how Lord Ramachandra treated all the citizens equally. That's why everybody is wanting that Rama Rajya. Everybody wants to get the kingdom, just like the governance, just like the Lord Ram. And even I think when I was, this is not something which is coming from the Bhagavatam, but most of you know that when I was studying in the school, I used to read a story about Manunudi Cholan. Like one of the king from Chora, his name is Manunidi Cholan, who gives justice if there is a petition was given to him. Like his son, Manunidi Cholan's son, killed a calf, and then the cow went and put a petition to the king, and then the king punished his own son by killing him under the wheels of the chariot. Like for example, the son killed the calf under his chariot, because he was driving the chariot, and then the calf, somehow he killed the calf under the chariot. The wheel ran over and the calf was dead, and the cow went to the king and put a petition, and then the king, what he did, he killed his own son in the same way. So that's why we hear the stories, we read the stories still, because they lived a selfless life. They protected every single one. So, and then, Mother Earth is saying that I have not committed any sins. Akrita Kilbishan. She was saying that how you can kill a woman. I am a woman. And she was saying that I am the one who is holding everyone, because if you kill me, if you break me into pieces, then what will happen? Then every living entity will fall into the Garbhada ocean, and then there won't be any life. So these were the arguments put forward by Mother Earth, and I hope the other arguments answered by Prithu Maharaj already. But here, in this 26 and 27, actually what happened, Prithu Maharaj is telling, any cruel person, be he a man, woman, or impotent eunuch, means it doesn't matter. If you are a cruel woman, then you must be punished. You must be killed. And who is interested only in personal maintenance and has no compassion. So Prithu Maharaj is answering the argument of Mother Earth that she cannot be killed but because she is a woman. Prithu Maharaj is answering that argument. He is saying that be a man, woman, or impotent eunuch. Eunuch means they are neither man nor woman. That person also has to be killed if they are only interested in personal maintenance and no compassion for other living entities. And he is putting forward that such killing cannot be considered as actual killing. Killing those people is not considered as killing only. So this is the king's mood. Before in the ancient India, the king used to sit in the darbar, and every day he will handle there will be people coming to him, and they will present their problems, and then immediately the king will resolve their problems. And somebody will come for justice, that somebody has attacked him, somebody has grabbed his land, somebody has kidnapped his wife. So whatever somebody has stolen his opulence, somebody has stolen his jewels, king will give the judgment immediately. It is not like nowadays we have to go to the court and wait for like 5 years, 10 years, sometimes it goes for 15, 20 years to get a judgment. But there, because why? These kings are not ordinary kings, they are trained on the religious principle. They are trained on dharma, how to rule a kingdom, how to rule, and protect the citizens and give them pleasure, because they all lived to make sure that they all are engaged in their occupational duty, maintain the varnashrama dharma, maintain the occupational duty, follow their occupational duty, and then everybody are serving the Supreme Lord. This is the duty of the king. There was no unemployment in the kingdom when the kings were ruling the kingdom. Nowadays we have this much, every state has an unemployment ratio. The youths are not engaged. Youths are misguided because of what? Because they are not engaged in the activities, proper activities. They are not working or doing according to the varnashrama dharma. So the king in the olden days, his duty is to make sure every citizen is engaged in the service according to their varnashrama dharma. So that, because if you do varnashrama dharma, you naturally serving the Supreme Lord. What is the purpose of varnashrama dharma? It is told in the Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 2nd chapter. What is the purpose of varnashrama?
To bring, by doing your prescribed duties as per your nature, to come to this path of spirituality.
Yeah, but what is the goal of it? What is the goal of?
Samsiddhir Haritoshanam.
Very good. Atha pumbi dvaja shresha varnashrama vibhagasaha sonititasya tasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. To please the Supreme Lord. So the king's duty is to make sure that everyone is engaged according to their guna and karma, and then they are doing service so that they can please the Supreme Lord. So that is what he was doing exactly. The king makes sure that everyone is protected in the kingdom. That is why that kings used to go in the night, or maybe in some time they go incognito. They will dress them up like a normal man, or so they dress them up like a normal beggar. They'll go in the kingdom. They'll find who's doing what. The kings used to do it. I heard a Ramayana from His Grace Jagat Sakshi Prabhu. In one of the lecture, he was saying that Lord Ram had many spies within the kingdom. Like nowadays also we have this kingdom. Every country has a spy, right? Like they have their own. This, for example, India has a Ra. Like every country has their own spying agency. So Lord Ramachandra every day used to meet the chief of all the spies, and he used to get all the report what the kingdom, what is the position of the kingdom, what is the position of the citizens, are they happy or not. This is the first thing he will do in the morning when he comes to the sabha, like to the darbar. He first meet the spy, the chief of all the spy. There will be different spies, but there will be one chief spy. And then that person will come and report to Lord Ramachandra. And Lord Ramachandra will take action immediately based on the report given to him. and he will make sure that all the citizens are becoming happy. So in the purport, Prabhupada writes in the 27th purport, Prabhupada writes, like, this is the activities of the king. Okay, like how the king makes sure that everybody is happy, and the criminals are punished within the kingdom. Similarly, a devotee who is like particularly who has to be punished, one who thinks about his own maintenance and not worry about others. Yeah. So similarly, a devotee sometimes they chant, they do their own sadhana, and they don't worry about preaching. And the Prabhupada writes, they are not considered first-class devotees. Why? Because if you want to become a very dear to Krishna, whatever that you have attained, whatever that you have received, you should spread it to others. The good things, not the bad. Oh, I got harmed. Today I have to go and harm the others. No. Krishna consciousness means becoming compassionate with others. Our whole parampara is based on the compassion. You saw you must have read in Bhagavad Gita that Arjuna decided not to fight. He doesn't want to fight in the war. And one of the reasons is compassion. There's so many other reasons, but one of the reasons that he became wise, because he became very, very compassionate. He said, I don't want to fight because they all are like my family members. I don't want to kill them. And in that purport, Prabhupada writes, this is the quality of a devotee. Devotee becomes very compassionate. So one should preach. Prabhupada writes, a devotee who tries to preach, who has compassion upon innocent persons, who have no knowledge of Krishna, is a superior devotee. So I want to share one the incident which I heard. I forgot that Maharaj's name. Maharaj is based in Bombay, disciple of Radhanath Sai Maharaj. Anybody remember his name? That Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj.
Rasamrita Maharaj.
Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj, yes. Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj, one time he was traveling. I don't know whether I told the story to you or to other class. So Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj was traveling in one of the remote places in Maharashtra, because he was preaching all over Maharashtra. And then he stopped in a petrol station because he was traveling in a car, and his secretary was there with him, and the car driver stopped there for fueling in one of the gas station. And then what happened? Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj, he got out from his car because it was a very nice place. Nobody was there, this very remote village. He got out and he wanted to adjust his dhoti. And then he had one bag with him. And then he gave this bag to the fuel attendant, like, the person who is working in the fuel station, petrol station. He gave to the fuel attendant, and he was very happy to hold his bag. And then he, he took aram se, he adjusted his dhoti for a few minutes, and then he took the bag back from him, and then he thanked him. Thank you so much for your wonderful service. And then that fuel attendant was also very happy, doing the small service. He became very happy because he was a Maharaj. Because generally in India, anybody who goes in saffron is respected. And then one person was completely bewildered, was his secretary, Maharaj's secretary. Maharaj's secretary was standing right next to him. And then what happened? Maharaj's secretary could not understand what is this. I am standing right next to him. I am the secretary. I am traveling with him just to serve him only. Why he didn't give the bag to me? I was thinking like that. And then they started traveling in the car. And then the secretary was not able to tolerate it. He said he wanted to ask, and then he asked, Maharaj, can I know why you did this? Because I was standing there. You could have given it to me. I am there to serve you. Why you gave it to him? And then Maharaj replied that, you see, this is a very, very remote place. And there is no other temple or any center nearby. And there is no Krishna conscious activities are happening here in this place. But I wanted to give him the security, because when there is no temple, then there is no point of there is that the chances are very less for this person to become a devotee, because unless you don't engage in service of the Lord, you cannot become, you will not get that the mercy of the Lord. So that's why I gave this small service to him, so that he gets the sukriti in one of the lifetime, that he become a devotee. By serving the devotees, we get agyata sukriti. Means without knowing or unknowingly, you do something to Vaishnava, you get the mercy of the Lord. And I have seen enough people in my life, means not my life, in the last 10 years, because I'm practicing Krishna consciousness in the past 10 years, like 2025 I started, 2015 I started, came into contact with devotees by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. I have seen many people how they were completely not into Krishna consciousness, but then later, just by giving them service, they have become fully Krishna conscious and become they're doing a lot of wonderful services. So a devotee ensures that everybody gets the mercy of the Lord. We can see the good example is Prabhupada. Prabhupada already renounced his family. He is already doing his bhajan in Vrindavan. He was staying in Radha Damodar temple. Every day he was looking at Rupa Goswami Samadhis while he was taking his lunch or his meals. Perfect example. He was no need to, there was no need to go out of Vrindavan, because living in Vrindavan in Radha Damodar temple, I hope all of you must have went to Radha Damodar temple. If not, please plan to go and see this room, in the Prabhupada room, where there is a small window, and now it is closed, but you can see the window. Means in that window, if you open, you can see Samadhi of Rupa Goswami. Prabhupada used to sit and pray every day to Rupa Goswami for his mercy. So Prabhupada already, he attained everything. He has all the knowledge. He perfected his chanting. He was a perfect devotee. There's no need for him to go to the US, a land of Maya. People are not having any rules and regulations. They don't have any social customs also, what to speak of other rules and regulations. But he went. Why? Because he wanted to preach. He wanted to give the message of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur to everyone. He wanted to give the message of Bhaktivinoda Thakur to everyone. He wanted to give the message of Lord Chaitanya to everyone. That is the mercy of the devotees. Okay, so one should have the mood of preaching to others. Whatever you know, doesn't matter. I don't know anything about scriptures. I did not learn anything. I need to first study Bhagavatam, become an expert in it, then only I will speak. It will never happen. The more you preach, the more you will read. The more you read, the more you will realize. The more you realize, you become a nice devotee. For example, this class, means although this for fourth canto I have done already, and I was reading for this class, for taking this class, a lot of things was looking very new, very, very fresh. Although I did it before, but it looking very fresh for me. So the point is, you have to preach. You have to preach, and that is the mission of Srila Prabhupada. That is the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we have to preach. Okay, so that's 26. 27. And then Prithu Maharaj answered the other argument put forward, like, if you break me into pieces, then everybody will fall into Garbhada Ocean. Okay, but Prithu Maharaj was saying that, like, I can hold everyone by mystic power. Because Lord is Yogeshwara and he is a partial incarnation of the Lord. Prithu Maharaj was a partial incarnation of the Lord. Lord is the Yogeshwara, is the master of all the mystics. This is one of the prayer offered by the Nalakwera in the Damodar Leela. When the Nalakwera was liberated, they were glorifying Lord Krishna as you are a Yogeshwara, you are a master of all the mystics. So Krishna can do anything because he has all the mystic power. And similarly, his devotees also has all the mystic powers, but they will never use their mystic power for their own personal sense gratification. They'll use it only for the protection of others. So here, Prithu Maharaj was saying that I can hold everything, the whole creation I can hold with my mystic power. Because Prabhupada writes in the purport, the scientist, the modern science, still doesn't have an answer how these planetary systems are floating in the space. Imagine the size of the planets. Imagine the mass of the planets. They talk so much things, quantum physics, this and that. When you go to some this one, you don't even understand what they are speaking. Some science conferences. I heard this nice story from one of the Maharaj. Sorry, one of Gauranga Prabhu from Bombay Chowpatty. He was saying that he was invited for a science and religion conference on science and religion. And because he's a graduate from IIT, he has a lot of science background. And he was like, there was a break time, and there was one Maharaj also with him. So they were sitting and they were attending this conference, and during the lunchtime, they both Maharaj and Gauranga Prabhu, they were discussing, and then Maharaj said, whatever they are speaking is just bow my head like that. Gauranga Prabhu also said, yes, sometimes I go to sleep because whatever they speak, I don't understand. Everything is going above my head, and sometimes I go to sleep. And then Maharaj said, at least sometimes it's good, at least you are sometimes going to sleep. For me, I get up only sometimes. So that means most of the time, he cannot comprehend what they are speaking, because they present so many things, very, very, vague theories, which cannot be comprehended by a common man. But here, if you read Bhagavatam, even a common man who has no knowledge of science or anything can understand how the creation is happening. So that is why the Lord has all the mystic power, that he can hold everything. He can, nobody can explain how that the whole thing was floating in the space. And the other thing is, I always tell whenever I speak to my new colleagues or new friends, new preaching activities, that I always tell them that, Newton's law of gravity is not Newton's law of gravity. It's Krishna's law of gravity. But what happened? It is not that Newton has invented it. It was there existing before Newton. It is existing after Newton. For billions of years, it is existing. Gravitational force is always there. And there are many scriptures that talks about gravity and all the gravitational force. But that name was given to him because he invented that law of gravity, as though he has invented it. It was Krishna's law of gravity. It's not Newton's law of gravity. But just because he found it, he presented it, it was named after him. So similarly, many people cannot understand how these planets are floating. That is the mystic power of the Supreme Lord. Next text, 28. Now, after speaking this, Prithu Maharaj become very angry, exactly like Yamaraj. Because Yamaraj, when he becomes angry, he kills. And Prithu Maharaj, like Yamaraj is the servant of Prithu Maharaj or, or the Supreme Lord. But the Lord in Bhagavad Gita says, Mrityu Sarva Ahrascha. So when I am the all devouring death. Nothing can, nothing can escape death. Like I was hearing one of the class, like I think Gauranga Prabhu's class, that he was saying, there's so many people fight for equality, equal rights, right? For equal rights. There's so many organizations, there's so many movements, so many things, equal rights, equal rights. Sometimes equal rights for humans, some equal rights for the people, sometimes equal rights between man and woman, all these things. But only one thing provides us equal right. What is that? Death. Because death comes for everyone, whether you are rich or poor, man or woman, old, young. If the death comes, the time of death comes, that's it, finished. You are a scholar or you are, not educated. You are beautiful, ugly. So whatever you take, there's no difference. Only one thing comes equally for everyone is death. That is provided. So when Prithu Maharaj became angry, that Mother Earth started trembling. Like for example, if you remember, Lord Ramachandra, when there is a place called Panchavati near Nasik, he killed 14,000 demons. After they cut the nose of the Shurpanaka. Shurpanaka went and told Karadusha, and then the Karadusha brought around 14,000 demons. At that time, Lord Ramachandra put Lakshman and Sita inside a cave, and he said, Lakshman, you don't come out of this cave. Your duty is to protect Sita. You don't come out. I can handle all of them single-handedly. And then he put all his armors. He filled up his cover. He put all the armors, like when you hear Ramayana, when you read Ramayana, it details all these things. And then Lord Ramachandra summoned the anger, because he has to become angry, because the Lord is always blissful. He summoned the personification of anger, and then he told that he want to become angry. Then he became angry. Then he invoked anger, actually. It's not that he became angry. He invoked this anger. And then he went and he killed 14,000 demons single-handedly within maybe, I think, 45 minutes or 1 hour. Single-handedly. So that is the power of the Supreme Lord. Similarly, Prithu Maharaj became very angry. Now the Mother Earth understood that he can, break me into pieces. He can break me into pieces. So immediately she becomes surrendered. Because when you become surrendered, a king who is trained in religious principle will not kill. For example, the Prithu Maharaj. Like for example, Lord Ramachandra. If you remember the story of Vibhishan, Vibhishan came to surrender. There was a difference of opinion between his associates. Okay, Angad and other parties, they said no, we should not accept Vibhishan. Hanuman said yes, we should accept Vibhishan. Then they went to Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra said, I will accept Vibhishan. And what to speak of Vibhishan? Even if who's that? Forgot the name of the demon. Even Ravana now comes and takes shelter of my lotus feet. I will forgive Ravana also. What to speak of Vibhishan? So that is the mercy of the Lord. So immediately what she did in text 29, she understood that Lord has become very, very angry. Then immediately she started offering prayers. She started offering prayers. So what she said, like, she was saying, you can expand in many forms by your material energy. Okay, and then you are as a universal form, you have a lot of gunas, but still you are always nirguna, like you are remain transcendental. You are not affected by the waves of the material existence. So these are the glorification, like she was glorifying, particularly glorifying the Prithu Maharaj, that is transcendental position, because she understood that this is the Lord himself. Lord himself. How the Lord can expand into various forms, how he can enter every single living entity, and he can, but at the same time he cannot, he is not affected. So that is what is presented as Achintya Beda Beda Tattva by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That the Lord is like, everywhere at the same time, he is not there. He is near, but he is very far. Like he is within our heart. Now, he is one of our best friend, but he is very far. You can't see him. Like these yogis, they run behind this, the yoga practices, the yogis, they meditate on the form of the Lord who is in the heart as Paramatma. They want to see the form always, and for that they run at the speed of the mind, but still they cannot catch him. If you remember the first canto, the story of Narada. Narada was walking as a young boy. He walked and he saw the darshan of the Lord. And then what happened? He was not able to see. And it is the mercy of the Lord. If you want to see the Lord, you should have the mercy of the Lord. It's not by your own endeavor. It is not by mechanical advancement. You need to have the mercy of the Lord. And the Lord is free to do whatever he wants. Lord is free to do anything he wants. So in this wonderful purport, Prabhupada writes about how the material world is torturing or tormenting the conditioned living entities with so many things, like with the 5 kind of air, 5 kind of working senses, 6 kind of the material conditions, like hunger, thirst, lamentation, bewilderment, old age, and death. All these things, how it is, every single conditioned soul who is inside a body, inside a physical body, has to go through all these things. However, a devotee is not affected by all these things. A devotee always stays aloof. Although he is going through the suffering, he is not worried about it. He doesn't care about his body. It doesn't mean that you don't have to care about your body from tomorrow. You need to maintain your body so that you can do service. But don't become attached to the body. That is what is very, very important. We should not become attached to the body and think the body is all in all. But you should maintain the body, nice way, do whatever is required to maintain the body. Whatever you have to do, jogging, workouts, exercise, this, that, diet, follow everything. Why? You can keep this body healthy so that you can serve the devotees, serve the Supreme Lord nicely. And when the death comes, it will come. We don't have to worry about it. But we have to understand that we have to maintain the body for the service, not for sense gratification. Because so many people, they want to, like live long. Like, there's one millionaire, from USA, I think. He came to Bangalore and he ran away in halfway, canceled the meeting, everything. Why? Because he said, it's so suffocating for me. He was always carrying all this oxygen, this, that. I think Johnson Bryan, something like that is his name. So he's like, he's called as longevity expert. I don't understand where these names coming from, but these people he's spending millions of dollars every year to maintain his body, but of course it is going to end one day. It is a matter of time. It is a matter of time. So although we go through all this tormentation by the material nature, but only thing which can give us solace, which can make us, aloof from all this bodily function, all the bodily torture, is chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And this, by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, by serving the devotees, the devotee doesn't care about the material body. He stays aloof. Okay. So I think it's more than 9 o'clock. Few minutes more than 9 o'clock. I'll stop here. You will see the next few slokas also, the glorification of Mother Earth. Mother Earth just started glorifying. So she will glorify Prithu Maharaj in the next few verses also, which you will see in the next classes. I hope that whoever is coming to speak, they will speak very nicely. So,
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your association. Devotees, anybody has questions, you can ask. Hare Krishna. I don't think there are questions. Could we end the class, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, in last moment, we have explained about the maintenance of this body. It is meant for only this devotional service. So, thing is, I can't one doubt, Prabhuji. Thing is, how this body, if we educate the body through mind, if mind is ready to, if we give directions to the body through mind, if mind is ready, body will accept it. Is it not, Prabhuji? So we must be firm in mind. Then the body will act on the directions of the mind.
Correct.
Suppose today is Ekadashi. Yesterday determination is there. Today I won't give you food to you. You be sustained till Dwadashi. So if we educate that, mentally we prepare for that. Automatically the body will hear all the words. Am I right, Prabhuji? Is clear? And then
everything is based on the mind only, Prabhu. That is why in the Bhagavad Gita, the first few chapters, Krishna talks about mind control. Why and how one should control the mind. It is given the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna talks so much about mind control. Because mind is, actually the soul is controlling the mind. So actually the soul is controlling the intelligence is controlling the mind is controlling the senses. Body means senses. Why we want to see something beautiful? Because the eyes want to see something beautiful, which takes pleasure. How many of you are ready to hear some blasphemy? Somebody is calling and telling you, you are like this, you are like that, you are so bad. We are not ready to hear, but somebody comes and glorifies us. Somebody calls you, oh Prabhu, you are like this. You are ready to hear. Even 10 minutes you are ready to hear. Yeah, why? Because the senses want to hear something nice. So actually the body is senses, is a network of senses. That is why, in the everyday we pray, Mahaprasada Govinde, if you read the meaning, it says that this body is just a mere network of senses. It's very difficult to control. And out of all these things, the tongue is the most dangerous. But by your mercy, my Lord, you are giving us the prasad. So my tongue will be purified. So mind is the central point. Prabhupada writes in many purposes. Mind is the central point of all the senses. So if you want to control your senses, you must control your mind.
Yes.
And by how to control the mind? Mantra. Which mantra? Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So mantra means mantra. Man means mind. Tra means training. You have to train the mind with the Maha Mantra.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prandavat Pranams, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very well explained, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Should I end the class, Prabhu?
Thank you, Mataji. If there are no questions, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity on the Ekadashi day. I hope everyone get the mercy of the Lord on this auspicious Ekadashi day.
Hari Bol,
Hare
Hari.
Krishna. Thank you.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Anantakoti
Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Radharashri Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Pranam.
Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.